Hi guys, I want to talk to you guys about market structure. But please, before I do, if you know you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Thank you very much. This is a topic that you do not want to play about because if you miss this, it's possible that you've missed everything in Forex because this is what um, Forex is built upon. It is the foundation, and it's in fact it is what houses the aspect of trading itself as a whole. In any market, be it forex, stock, crypto, or anything else, market structure comes first. Before every other confluence is, or before every other thing to be talked about, you need to know your market structure, right? So this is a topic that you must know, right? You must know for you to be a successful forex trader. And um previously I talked to my community members in our WhatsApp community about market structure, the basics and the what the external structure, internal structure, and the fractal structure is all about, which are the three types of structure, right? So I actually talked a lot about this in the WhatsApp community, right? And if you'd love to be a part of that community, um the link is in the description of this video, right? Just click on it and it's going to take you there. I am presently hosting a free class, right, that you should not miss, right? Because it's free, it's totally free, and I'm doing this to help my community members. So if you want to be a part of it, the link is in the description. Okay. So, like I said, we've talked about the three types of structure already in my WhatsApp community, which are the external, internal, and fractal structure, right? For the purpose of those who are watching this for the very first time, I'm going to explain briefly on what these structures are, and then we'll just move directly to the live aspect to see how it works on the chart. Okay, so as we can see here, um, I have the term here, market structure, and we have these three types of structure: external, internal, and fractal. Market structure, like the name implies, there are two words there: market and structure. So basically, it's just implying how the structure of the market is, right? And the word market could be any type of market. It could be the forex market, it could be the crypto market, it could be the stock market, any type of market in question, right? So it's about the structure of how that market is, the framework of the market, what makes up that market. Like in the previous explanation with my community members, I give them an analogy using a house or the human body as an example. The human body is made up of what? The skeletal system, right? So the skeletal system is that framework, is that structure of the human body. Also, for a house, there's a structure that makes up that house, right? So also in the forex market, there's a structure behind the scene, that makes up um the chart, right? So all those buy and sell transactions that we make, in our MT5, you know, and for any other foreign exchange transactions we do, probably in our banks and the rest of that, it reflects on the charts. All those transactions that we make individually, or the banks make, or any other corporation make, they are represented in a structure on the chart, right? Those lines, those movements we see, right? They are as a result of the transactions we make. So all of those transactions combined together, they get on to do to form a structure, right? And those structures are subdivided into three parts, which are the external structure, internal, and fractal structure. For the external structure is the overall structure. It's what gives you your bias, right? It's what gives you your trend, your overall trend, right? Because if you want to know if the market is actually in a bullish or in a bearish trend, what we first do is look at the external structure, right? It's the external structure that will now tell us that, okay, the objective of the higher time frame, or the objective of this particular currency pair, is to do what? Is to buy or to sell, right? That might be your bias. Okay, and it's the external structure that gives you what? That bias. It gives you that perspective of where what price is heading, right? So it's the outer shell of the structure, right? So it houses every other structure. It comes first, and then the internal and the fractal structure do what? Are inside of it, right? So it houses both the internal and the fractal structure. So it's the overall structure, and that's why if you look at this example that I drew here, you notice that, okay, let me increase this so you do not get confused. Let me make this bigger, okay, and increase the opacity, okay. So now, um this big line, right, this thick black line is the external structure. This big black line is the external structure, right? So basically, let's say this line, we are viewing it from a 4-hour time frame, right? From a 4-hour standpoint. So basically, this big black line will be what, to be our external structure, right? Because it's showing us the direction. And obviously, from what we are seeing here, we are seeing that the direction is what is an uptrend, right? So what we are now going to do is to use the internal time frame to follow the external structure. Do you understand? I don't want to go in depth because like I said, I already gave an overview of what it means, right? The definitions of all of this in my WhatsApp community. Just click on the link to take you there, right? All of the videos are there, right? I'll try my best to republish them because I don't think you can see previous videos from WhatsApp. That happens only in Telegram, right? So that aside, like I said, the external structure is what houses the internal structure and the fractal structure. So let's say, for instance, this is the external structure. This thick black line right here is the external structure. Now we know our objective. The objective is what? Is an uptrend, is it not? So what we are going to do now is use the internal structure to follow the objective of what? Of the external structure. If the external structure's objective is an uptrend, right? It means we are going to use the internal structure to do what? To facilitate that objective, which is what? Uptrend. So basically, if you know that your external structure bias is a buy, right? It means what? Your internal structure is to follow that bias. When you go down to your lower time frames, which is basically for your internal structure, you are going to make sure you do what? You look for buys to support or to facilitate what? The higher time frame structure, which is your external structure, right? So that's just it. The internal structure fulfills the objective of what? Of the external structure. So if the external structure's objective is to buy, or it's an upward trend, the internal structure is going to do what? Have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, right? To facilitate that movement of what? Of the external structure, right? For now, for this higher time frame leg, which is this higher high, there was a lot of what? Higher highs and higher low movements in the internal structure that facilitated what? That continuation leg. Also for the pullback leg, you notice that what? For this pullback to happen, there was a change in the internal structure, right? There was a change in internal structure. The internal structure had to switch its trend to bearish, right? And then we had what? The pullback of the external structure, right? Also, when we are about to continue the continuation of the external structure, the internal structure did what? Shifted from what? From bearish to bullish, right? And then we started moving up to facilitate what? The continuation of the external structure. If you notice here as well, for us to do what? Pullback in the external structure, the internal structure has to do what? Shifts bearish from bullish to bearish, right? For the external structure to do what? To pull back. Also for the continuation. So that's just how it works. For the external structure to do what? To fulfill its objective, the internal structure is going to do what? Facilitate it. It's going to switch its trend to facilitate that movement, right? So basically, that switch in trend is what gives you what? The sign. It's a sign, right? It's what gives you that signal that what? Either the external structure is about to do what? Continue, or it's about to pull back. Those two things, right? Those two things are very, very crucial. It gives you a sign that it's about to do a pullback or it's about to continue, right? So that's enough for that. Let's get straight to the chart, and then I'll show you examples of how it works or what I'm talking about, right? So basically, right, Euro USD tend to produce a lot of these opportunities for this kind of explanations, right? So I don't think I'll go too far in the chart. Let's just look for a swing structure right here. You should know what swing structures are, right? If you do not know what swing structures are, please, comment that below in the comment section. Then I'll emphasize on that in the next video. In the next video, I'm going to emphasize on what swing structures are and how to identify them. But for this video, I just want to focus on the external structures, internal and fractal. Right. So if you still have any complications on swing structures, just comment below. Then I'll um make out time to make that video separately, for you guys. Right now, for this particular time frame, for the 4 hour time frame, this is a higher time. This is a external structure. Sorry, here. These are external structure, our swing structure. Right. Notice that we had the break of structure right here. So this became the new swing low. Okay. So this is new swing low. Now, um, okay, let me start this explanation from this break of structure right here. Okay. Now you notice that we are in a downtrend, right? If you look at your external time frame, right, the objective or the bias is what is a downtrend movement. Because you can see what we know that for a downtrend to occur, or for us to be sure that we are in a downtrend, we need to see a series of what lower lows and what and lower highs. Is it not? Lower lows and lower highs. That's the trend that forms what a downtrend. That's the pattern rather that forms a downtrend. And if you look right here, it's obvious. It's very very obvious that what we're in a downtrend because we're having a series of what lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, right? So what should we expect in a downtrend is what continuation, is it not? Until price does what gives us sign that it's about to switch bullish, because for every trend, right, there has to be what a change of trend at some point, right? Because the market is not going to keep moving in a particular trend forever. At some point, it's going to switch. It's not going to keep moving an upward trend forever. At some point, it will switch bearish, and vice versa. So in this case, what happened? We've been bearish, and then at some point we switch bullish. But now, what I want to show you is for this bullishness to occur, for this change in trend to occur, there was a shift in structure from the internal time frame, right? And also for this pullback after this break of structure, what do we know happens after a break of structure? We should know, right? It's a pullback. So if we're in a bearish trend after a break of structure, what do we expect? We expect price to okay. Let me give this illustration. If we're in a downtrend, right? After that continuation to the downside, what do we expect? We expect a pullback. Why do we expect this pullback? We expect this pullback because what? There are a lot of orders right here. I explained this in the previous video for my community members, right? We expect a pullback because during a continuation, right, there's a lot of orders that weren't filled right here, a lot of imbalances. So what price does is that it pulls back to fill up all of those orders that were here that were left out, right, before continuing the next phase of the trend, right. So that's why we have these repeated patterns of lower lows and lower highs in a downtrend, and higher highs and higher lows in an uptrend, right. So the objective of price after a break of structure is what? Is to pull back, is it not? So basically, if you notice here, after this break of structure, we pull back. And now for this pullback to happen, the internal time frame is going to do a switch what bullish to facilitate what that pullback to the what to the external time frame, right? So now, what will be our internal time frame here? Our internal structure. For us to identify our internal structure, what time frame do we use, right? That's the question. For us to identify our internal structure, what time frame do we use? Now if you are a day trader, right, like me, I would advise you although you could test and see what works for you, but what works for me, right, I tend to use what the 4 hour time frame, the 1 hour and 15 minutes for my internal structure, right? As at last year, I was using 15 minutes alone, but later on, I started using 1 hour because 1 hour tend to give me what a lot of precision. Yeah, I'll use the word precision, right? So you should use your 4 hour time frame as a day trader, 4 hour time frame for your external time frame to give you that overall bias of where price is heading, or the original price of or the original movement of price, and then your 1 hour time frame to give you that substructure of your 4 hour time frame. Or if you're not, if the 1 hour is too large, you could use the 15-minute time frame to see a more clear picture, right? So let's just head on to the 1 hour time frame to see what is happening, right? So you notice that this is still our far swing, external swing, right? This is our far break of structure. And now, where is our internal structure, right? Now notice that inside of this 4 hour leg to the downside, inside of this 4 hour leg to the downside, we had a lot of what? Let me use my part two so you see what I'm saying. We had a lot of substructures in the 1 hour time frame, right? If you look here, from here, from here, we had this pullback, pullback. All these are internal structures. All of these are internal structures, right? All of these are the internal structures of what? Of what? Of the 4 hour time frame, right? Are you seeing what happened here? Are you seeing what is happening here? This same pattern is what I explained here. This same pattern that is happening now is what I explained here, right? Exactly what I explained here. So you can see that the internal structure is doing what? Is facilitating the internal structure, which is the 1 hour time frame, right? Is facilitating that continuation, okay, right? Because we are in a downtrend, is it not? Before this switch in trend, we are in a downtrend, is it not? And for this continuation to happen for on the 4 hour time frame, right? For this continuation to happen, okay, let me use my part two so you understand what I mean perfectly. You understand what I mean perfectly. Now, these are 4 hour time frame, is it not? This big, this big pullback like this big continuation rather, because we're in a downtrend, so the downward movement is the continuation, is it not? This big continuation is just one leg of the 4 hour time frame. Hope you know this big continuation to the downside is one big 4 hour leg, right? Now for this 4 hour leg to come down like this, or for this continuation to happen, there's going to be a lot of internal pullbacks to facilitate that movement to the downside. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I don't know if it's clear, right? It has to be facilitated by what? The internal time frame, which is the 1 hour time frame. And if you look from here, you would notice that it facilitated it, right? You notice that we had internal time frames here, we had internal pullbacks here, right? So if you look here, notice that we had this internal pullback, we had this pullback, we had this pullback, we had this pull. Okay, no, yeah, we had this pullback, and then we had this pullback, we had this pullback, and then we also had this pullback, right? So where is our recent, right? Where's our most recent internal pullback? It's here, right? It's here. This is our most recent internal pullback. Yeah, we use that as a high. So that's our 1 hour internal structure, right? You can use this as a break of structure to the downside. So technically, right, we cannot just keep following the internal structure to the downside. Hope you know, because our overall bias is what we are looking at, what? The 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame is our clear picture. What we are just doing is using the internal time frame to do what? To facilitate or follow our external structure, is it not? But you should not get carried away with your internal structure, because you should know that at some point the objective of the 4 hour time frame or the objective of your external structure will be fulfilled. Hope you understand. At some point in time, the objective will be fulfilled, and trend will change. You understand? And now if you look here, the objective of the 4 hour time frame here was to do or to continue, right? Was to continue until this break of structure happened, right? So after this break of structure happened, Oton, we've done our objective. The objective of the 4 hour time frame had completed after this break of structure. So now the next thing we'll be thinking of is pullback. Hope you get what I mean. Because after a break of structure, we should know that what the next thing is a pullback. So if you keep following your internal structure here, forgetting that we've now had what? A break of structure, you are going to lose. That's where you start having unnecessary losses. Because here and here, you should know that after a break of structure, we expect a pullback to the upside, right? In a downtrend, is it not? We expect a pullback to the upside before the next continuation. So after this break of structure, if you fail to realize that the internal structure have already do what? Okay, so if you fail to realize that the objective is now complete and it's time to move to the next phase, that's where you lose unnecessary money. You understand? And that's exactly what happened here. Just imagine if somebody started selling off from here. Just imagine if someone starts selling off from here. I'm not saying it's not going to work. There are sometimes our price is actually still going to keep going down even after a break of structure. You understand? There are most times it happens a lot. Price might just keep going down even after a break of structure. But you should have it at the back of your mind that once that break of structure happens, objective, the continuation objective has been fulfilled. The continuation objective has been fulfilled. The next phase now is a pullback. Just have it at the back of your mind. The next phase after a break of structure is a pullback. So what you should be looking at is what for price to change. You understand? Although there are several ways, there are several confluences that you could see later on that could make you keep playing that continuation. You understand? I'm going to make videos on that later. That's an in-depth explanation, right? There are some times that you could see some certain confluences that will make you still what keep playing that continuation to the downside. You understand? But there are signs that price will give you to tell you that what it's about to do or to pull back, or that the objective is over, right? And if you look here, after this break of structure to the downside, you'll notice that we had this large price movement from buyers telling you that what they're about to step into the market. Do you understand? You have to read price in between lines. You need to see what price is what price is doing, what price is showing you from the candles. You see that it left this fair value gap that I marked here, right? Fair value gap. This fair value gap. You notice that price spiked up and broke this internal structure. And the break of this internal structure, what did it tell you? It's a switch. It's a switch in market structure. This is what is called SMS. SMS switch. Did I say switch? Shift in market structure. This is a shift in market structure, right? And it's your internal time frame that gives you that. So once you see an internal shift in market structure from your once you see a shift in market structure from your internal time frame, what does it tell you? It tells you that a new objective of the external time frame is about to happen. Do you get? And now the new objective is what? Is to pull back. And why are we pulling back? We are pulling back because we have fulfilled the previous objective. And the previous objective was what? Was the continuation, right? So now we are done with the continuation. Now we want to pull back, right? We want to pull back to do what? To fill all of those orders that were left out and, balance price. That's why we are pulling back. And so for that pullback to happen, the internal time frame is going to show you. It's just like a story. It's a building block, right? Price is going to give you patterns. Market structure is going to give you patterns. It's going to give you signs that an objective is about to be over or an objective is about to happen. And in this case, what an objective is over, the objective is what? The pulling back, and a new objective is about to happen. That new objective is what? The old objective was the continuation, right? And now the new objective is what? The pullback, right? And for that pullback to happen, we had this sign, which is what? The SMS, shift in market structure. I noticed that immediately after this the 1 hour internal structure got taken out, right? We then started pulling back to the upside. Price came back and filled what? This fair value gap right here, right? Taking a trade from here would be a very sweet trade, very, very sweet trade. Right? Probably you just go down to your 15-minute time frame or to your execution time frame to look for what? A confirmation entry. And it will be very, very sweet. Take your very sweet 5 hour or 3 hour. You understand? If you want to be conservative, 3 hour, right? Because I like taking 3 hour trades on pullbacks, right? And then I take 5 hour for continuations, right? I'll talk on risk management probably next video or sometime later, right? But that's just it. That's just the concept. That's the concept of internal structure. We'll go later on to fractal structure, but I want you guys to grasp the concept of internal structure and external structure, because those are the two main structures. Your fractal structures, you are not even going to be needing it that much in your actual trading. It's there. It's not like it's not there. It's there, and that's why I mentioned it, right? It's there, but you're not going to be needing it that much. In fact, most of the time, you're not even going to be needing your fractal structure. What you mainly need is what? Your external first, and then your internal. The external gives you the overall bias, the overall trend direction, and then your internal do what? It facilitates or gives you signs that either the objective of the higher time frame or your external structure is done or it's about to happen. Is it not? Right? So you notice that That's how the internal structure switched bullish, and then we did what? We kept doing what? Facilitating that movement, right? So now we were done facilitating the continuation, and now what? The it's now facilitating, yeah, it's now facilitating the pullback, right? So after facilitating the continuation, we then switch, and now it's facilitating what? The pullback to the upside, right? So you can see the internal structure of the 4-hour time frame facilitating what? That pullback, facilitating that pullback, right? Facilitating that pullback, right? Now, if you notice here, we had the like I told you, the trend is not going to keep going down or keep going up forever. At some point, it's going to switch. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame so we know our objective, right? So we've now caught this trade, and now we are following the internal time frame to what? To the next objective, right? So the thing about market structure is objectives upon objectives. You look at your current objective, what is it? Use your internal structure to do what? To follow it up. Once your internal structure is done following the current objective, you ask yourself, what's the next objective of the market? After pinpointing the next objective, you go down again to your internal structure to do what? To follow it, to fulfill the objective of the external structure again. You understand? And now, after this continuation that had this break of structure, the next objective was what? To pull back, is it not? And then that was where we went down to the 1 hour time frame to catch this trade, and then we started pulling back. And we know that we're not also going to pull back forever, right? Because I'm sure we already know our premium and discount. We should know our premium and discount, is it not? We know that we do what? We sell in a premium and then we buy in a discount. So you should know that once we come to a premium level in a downtrend, you should know that price at any time can do what? Start continuing its trend. Is it not? So basically, in as much as you are following your internal time frame to catch the buys for the pullback, you should not forget or not neglect that the objective of that pullback will be fulfilled once we get to a premium level. You understand? Once we get to a premium level, the objective will be fulfilled, and then what will happen? That's when you notice that price will do what? Come to it, and then start continuing to the downtrend. But in this case, what happened? That was not the case because what? We had a switch in trend. We had a switch in trend. I'm going to be talking about trend switch or change in trend. That's the proper way to call it in another video, right? Because if I start talking about that, I would deviate and leave the topic I'm actually teaching right now, which is external, internal, and fractal structures. So I want to focus on that. I want to focus on the three types of structures, and then I'll leave that for another video. If not, I would have explained to you how this change of structure actually comes to play, but we'll leave that for another video, right? But okay, let me look for another example where we did not have a change in trend, right? We did not have a change in trend. Okay, now okay, exactly. Now if you look here, okay, if you look at the previous break of structure, what happened after a break of structure? We did what? We started pulling back. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame, which is our internal structure, to see if we'll be able to catch what? That pullback, right? If we can use the 1 hour time frame to do what? To fulfill that objective, is it not? Now, if you notice in our 1 hour time frame, where's our internal structure? This is it, is it not? This is our 4 hour, this was our what? 4 hour swing high. This is the break of structure, is it not? And now you notice that there are a lot of internal structures in here. There are a lot of internal structures that are doing what? Facilitating that continuation of what? Of the 1 hour, of the 4 hour time frame, is it not? Right? But now, this is where I tend to complement both 15-minute time frame and 1 hour time frame. Because if you look right here now, right, we did not have any nearest internal structure that we could work with, that will give us a sign that price about to change trend, is it not? So that we could follow the structure to actually get into a trade, right? So this is where I actually use the 15-minute time frame to complement. You could test that yourself, to understand what I mean, right? But if you look here, the internal structure of the 1 hour time frame is far above, which is here, right? So what happened is that we broke the internal structure, telling us what, that it's time to pull back, right? But one thing about internal highs, one thing about internal highs that are very far off like this is that we tend to miss the trade already, because by the time price breaks this internal high, it has already reached what, the premium level. Do you get? It has already reached the premium level. That's why I said I use the 15-minute time frame to complement what, the 1 hour time frame for my what, internal structures. But I'm not going to be going down to the 15 minutes, no, because this video is going to extend more than how I planned it to be, right? So you could do your testing yourself with the 15 minutes, back test, and get a lot of data. I'm sure a lot of you already use 15 minutes for your internal structure, so that should not even be new, right? So in cases where your 1 hour internal time frame can be high, like can be very, very high, you could use your 15-minute time frame to do what, to get in early, you know right? So let's get back to what we were saying, right? So the internal structure facilitated that continuation, and then when we were about pulling back, we had this break of structure, and the next thing was we pulled back, and then, like I said, after pulling back, you have to look for the next objective. Now you know that once the pullback is done, or once we are in a premium level, we should expect what that price could start its continuation anytime soon. You understand? So now we've gotten into a premium level. Let's get our premium and discount to let's get our premium and discount to this leg. Yeah, to the swing low. Now if you notice, this is our 50%, and this is the premium, and this is the discount. Is it not? These are premium, these are discount, these are 50%. Is it not? So now we've passed the 50%. Anything above the 50% is what? Is your premium level. Anything below the 50% is what? Is your discount level. So in this scenario, we are what? We are above the 50%. So we are what? We are in our premium level. So once we come straight into our premium level, the next objective on our mind should be what? Price might start doing what? Continuing its trend, its overall 4 hour external trend very, very soon. And that's exactly what happened. Notice here, after this continuation, pullback, we came above the 50% to the premium level, and then we did what? Continue to the downside. Hope you can see. So what should be at the back of your mind should be what? The objective. What's the current objective? Is the current objective over? If it's over, then what is the next objective? That's just how market works, right? That's just how market works. Whether it's a downtrend or it's an uptrend, in any market at all, whether crypto, forex, or stocks or any other thing, the same principle applies. You understand? Okay, so that's exactly just how the internal time frame supports the external time frame to fulfill its objective. Okay, so that should be clear, is it not? That should be clear. So now the next thing I'm going to talk about is the fractal structure. Now the fractal structure is the internal structure of the internal structure. You notice that the internal structure of the external structure is our internal structure. That's okay. Let me not use the word internal. Let me use the word sub. The substructure of the external structure is what? Is the internal structure. Now the substructure of the internal structure, that is your fractal structure. Your fractal structure could be a wick. It could be just two candles. It's those subtle, those little internal structures, right? Those little substructures inside of your internal structure. Now, okay, let's use it as an example, right? Let's use it as an example. Okay, this is our internal structure, is it not? Now, you know that there are some persons, those scalpers. We have three types of traders: day traders, swing traders, and scalpers. Scalpers mostly use internal structures to trade. You understand? They mainly use internal structures to trade. They might just come to their 1 hour, to like the 1 hour now. No, now we as they traders, right? I don't know for you, but for me, I'm teaching based off what I trade, because I'm a day trader, right? As a day trader that I am, my 1 hour time frame will be my internal structure for my 4 hour time frame, which is my external structure. But for a day for a what's it called? For a scalper, right, the 1 hour time frame might just be his external time frame. Do you understand? The 1 hour time frame will now be what his external time frame, and then he will now get on to use 15 minutes as what his internal time frame, and then 5 minutes for what his fractal structure or for entries. Do you understand? So basically, yeah, your internal or the substructure of your internal structure, which is the what we have here, is your fractal. Now, if you look here, inside of this internal structure, we had another substructure. Is it not? Inside of this internal structure here, we had another substructure, which is this. Notice that we had this little pullback. Those little pullbacks that are not worthy to be called a like a swing structure or an internal structure, those are your fractal structures. I don't know how to put it. Those structures that are little, that are not worthy to be like your normal structure, right? They tend to be what the fractal structure. Like now, you see how large, this our internal structure is, right? You see how large this our internal structure is. It's because of how large it is compared to the previous structures, right? Compared to the previous structures, you see how large this one is. Which other one do we have? Okay, yeah. You see how large. You see how large this one is. You see how large this one is. Okay. Which other one again? You also see how large this one is, not actually that large, but it's also there, right? So based off the previous structures, that's how we used to mark our recent structure, is it not? So now, this is the large internal. This is a large accepted internal structure. Now, inside of this internal structure, there is another structure inside of it, and which is this one. You can see it. You can see this small substructure that we did not recognize. That's where we have our change of character. Those of you that use change, I don't use change of character. I use shift in market structure. Shift in market structure is when your internal structure shifts. But change of character is that fractal structure. When your fractal structure shifts, that is your change of character for me. Because one thing about change of character is that it doesn't give you, most of the time it's very deceiving. Let me use that term. Your change of character can be very deceiving. That's why I do not use change of character. I wait until I get a shift in market structure, which is a shift in my internal structure. That's when I can now know that yes, the external structure is about to do what? To fulfill a new what? Is about to have a new objective. Is it not? So basically, those those substructures inside of your internal structures, those are what? Those are your fractal structures, right? So recognizing this, you should know that what? It's very, very obvious, right? This is our internal high, this is our internal low, is it not? And instead of this internal high, let me make this clearer so you should see it and know what I'm talking about. Let me make it clearer. This is our internal low. Okay, hope you guys are following. If you have any questions, please do not forget I said this class is actually ongoing in our WhatsApp community, right? I actually just wanted to make this video for my YouTube subscribers so you guys would know what is happening on our WhatsApp community and then get involved as quick as possible. So if you have any questions, just click on that link so it will take you there and you can drop your questions along with every other members in the community. Okay, so let's get back to what we're doing. Notice that this is our internal high, this is our internal low. Now, instead of this internal high and internal low, there was another substructure. There was another substructure, which is this. So now that substructure of our internal structure, that is our fractal structure. Hope you understand. And that's why I said you are not going to be needing it much. Basically, what you'll be using it for is your change of character. And the change of character is now going to tell you that was your internal structure is about to switch bullish, right? Objective upon objective of objectives. That's what price just does, right? So that's just it. That's just it. This is your fractal structure because what? It's an internal structure of what? It's a substructure. Let me use the word sub. It's a substructure of your what? Of your internal structure, right? So basically, we'll term this to be what? A change of character. Okay. So this will now be what? Our change. This is where you now have your CHOC. I've forgotten the last time I even used this. as a confluence to trade, because it gives what a lot it gives you a lot of false, you know, it gives you a lot of false um I don't know why this is not writing, but you should know that okay, it has come up. I think it was network. Okay, so that's your chalk. This is your change of character. Those fractal structures inside of your internal structures, right? Although there are some persons that call shift in market structure change. Anyhow you want to put it, right? Anyhow you want to. But for me, all of these words, they are just terms, they are just vocabularies in the forex market. As long as you know what you are doing, it's fine. Any kind of vocabulary you use, it's none of anybody's business. You are still correct as long as what you are doing, you know what you are doing, and it's making you money. You are correct. Any vocabulary you use is correct. As long as you have a full knowledge of what you are doing, except you don't know what you are doing, right? Some person can call this my shift in market structure a change of character, and it's still correct, it's still fine. Your change of character, what does it mean? It means that the market is changing what character, from an initial character to a new character. So it actually still entails the same thing. Shift in market structure, it shifts from a particular structure to a different structure, if you understand. So it's actually the same thing, but I tend to use change of character for my fractal structures, and then my shift in market structure for my what internal structures, if you understand. And then um I use BOS, break of structure, for my external structures. So anytime you see BOS on my chart, just know that that's a what a break of structure from my external structure. But anyhow you do it, it's still fine, right? So basically, I would love to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please, if you did, make sure you like and subscribe, and also share this video to those that you think are having complications in market structure, right? So the overall thing you should take notes is that what we have three types of structures, and the first is what the external structure gives you the overall bias. Okay, it gives you the scope. It gives you the overall bias, the overall identification of where price is heading. Is it in an uptrend? Is it in a downtrend? And then the internal structure is what helps what facilitates the objective of the external structure. So the internal structure will pull back, right? It's going to shift the market structure, for to facilitate whether a pullback or a continuation, just like how we explained, right? And then your fractal structures are those substructures inside of inside of your internal structure. Okay, so that's just that about market structure. In our next video, I'm going to be talking about swing structures, and in the next video, after the next video, like I said, I'm going to be talking about the change of trends, because it's very important to know how to catch trades in change of trends. Yeah, it's very, very important to know that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. So please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please join the WhatsApp community. It's going to help you. And also, those of you that want me to make videos specifically on swing structures, how to map swing structures, please comment below. It's going to help me, right, to know what and what to talk about, right? So thank you guys very much. See you in the next one. Peace out.